guys, last week it was a very, very tumultuous week in the city of Ferguson, Missouri, as the riots continued after the decision came down from a grand jury not to indict a former police officer in the shooting death of a young man there in the community. Now, on Sunday, the St. Louis Rams, some of their players, decided to, before they walked onto the field in front of the cameras, show some solidarity to the individuals on the other side of it, the ones that feel that there was an injustice, those that believe the cop was in the wrong, and those players put their arms together in a show of solidarity, including players like Tavon Austin and Jared Cook, Kenny Britt, and others. Now, personally, I think this is a very touchy subject, but ultimately the stand by the players, I think, is their ultimate right, especially on that scene. If they believe that what they think is right and they're not doing it in a harmful way, they certainly have their First Amendment right to speak their mind, and I thought it was a very classy way in which that they did so. Now, the St. Louis Police Officer Association came out with a very harsh statement last night, basically condemning the act of solidarity and saying some very harsh words towards those players, basically saying those players were in the wrong and the police officers also have a First Amendment right, and they're going to start to exercise that. I think you're starting to see some clash between not only just individuals of different color, but you're also starting to see a clash between individuals of different class. And you have a upper class set of football players standing up for lower class individuals there at Ferguson who have been really feeling like they've been oppressed by the police in that community. Like I said, either way it's a tough situation, and I'm not taking sides here on either side of it, but laying out the information. I think from all the stuff we saw a week ago with violent protests, we have Rams players doing something that was non-violent in a show of solidarity for those that they believe were in the right. So I think that the Police Officer Association was a bit out of line with their statement, and ultimately the comment itself might enrage some individuals. So it doesn't seem to get any clearer anytime soon in regards to this case in Ferguson, but I thought the act from the Rams players themselves was not only their right, but I thought it was in some good taste. Ultimately, you're going to see more protests, I think, and I think you're going to ultimately see more athletes standing up and being vocal about their comments. We saw Twitter last week as well. But it just shows that even though it has nothing to do with sports, sometimes sports makes its way into real life, and it became an issue yesterday at the Rams game.